Sky News can reveal evidence of the rush by Daniel Andrews' government to get the Belt and Road deal between Victoria and the Chinese government signed in 2018, as detailed in emails obtained exclusively under Freedom of Information laws. It all begins on Friday, June 8, 2018, with an email from officials in the Premier's Department in Victoria to the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade saying, here is a draft Belt and Road MOU that the NDRC, which is China's National Development and Reform Commission, have given us. It says, please find attached a marked up version, give us your feedback. Well, the following Tuesday afternoon, the Victorian government is pressing DFAT hard for a response, seemingly keen to get the thing moving no matter what. Thanks for your help on this, reads the DPC email from 12th of June to Foreign Affairs. My executive director is keen to land this ASAP and is under some pressure from further up. Do you have a sense of when you might be able to come back to us with a view? This is a high priority for Victoria. Apologies for being so pushy, just 3 days after the initial request. DFAT then responds a couple of times, and then by June 26, the Foreign Affairs Department writes to the Department of Premier and Cabinet, I've discussed with colleagues and we think it would be better to discuss over the phone. Would you and your colleagues be available sometime tomorrow? Now, the DFAT advice to the Victorian government has been redacted from our Freedom of Information request, but I understand they suggested changes to the MOU which were adopted, but they also expressed reservations about Victoria entering the agreement generally. So come Thursday the 1st of November, some months later, 2018, DFAT realises the MOU has been signed by the Victorian government and Chinese authorities. The federal department writes and basically says, hey, can we get a copy? This email from the director of the China Economic and Trade Section to Department of Premier and Cabinet officials, including Matt Lowe, says, following our conversations and advice earlier this year about the Victorian Belt and Road MOU, we noted with interest the announcement last week the MOU has been signed. You won't be surprised to hear there's plenty of interest in the MOU in Canberra. I'll be extremely grateful if we could get a copy. On Friday, November 2nd, this Matt Lowe, the Executive Director from DPC, finally sends Jenny Bloomfield, the head of DFAT's Victorian office, the MOU, and says, apologies for the delay in providing you with a copy. That MOU, which has since been publicly released, commits both the Victorian government and the National Development and Reform Commission of the People's Republic of China to jointly promote the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road Initiative to enhance practical cooperation within the framework of jointly building the Belt and Road. It goes on, the parties will work together within the Belt and Road Initiative with the aim of promoting connectivity of policy, infrastructure, trade, finance and people. It says the MOU will remain in place for 5 years and will be automatically extended for subsequent 5-year periods unless terminated by either party in written notice 3 months in advance. Signed by Daniel Andrews and the chairman of the Chinese NDRC on October 8. Now, we know this week in Parliament, the federal government will move its foreign relations bill, which is aimed at tearing up this agreement amid fears of foreign interference by China. The bill also gives the Commonwealth more say over state governments and other bodies which seek to commit to such agreements so they can block them, Kieran.